What is going on, guys? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. You're here with me, Ethan, and in today's video I want to talk about Saw X, or Saw 10, the 10th Saw movie today. And before I get started with any sort of opinions, hot takes, or anything that I say that might get me in trouble with this video, I'm a casual Saw fan, okay? So take my opinion with a grain of salt. A lot of it will just be coming from someone that casually enjoys these movies, alright? Iona is the Saw expert. In fact, she was the one that actually dragged me to go see this movie. I was not hyped for this movie whatsoever. I didn't enjoy Spiral. I didn't enjoy much of what was going on. I found the characters to be not as interesting, story not to be as fleshed out. So when they did say that Saw X was coming out, I was like, oh, okay, Saw X, fine. I will go see it anyway because it's a horror movie. I'm a horror nut. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, yeah, good. This looks like it would be really, really well done, really well made. I really don't know. Sorry, guys, what about my colouring on my screen there is kind of going off and on. But yeah, watched the trailer. It's like, okay, I'm kind of sold for this one. Yeah, okay, I'm here for it. And then obviously we went to go see it yesterday, and let me just tell you, this might be the best Saw movie, period. Okay, it is that good. In fact, it's the best horror movie that I've seen this year so far. So let's say what I actually liked about this movie. So starting off with the thing that I liked most about this movie was the story. The story involving John Kramer himself. That was what was kind of lacking in the previous Saw movies. That we weren't focusing on John Kramer, we weren't focusing on his story, his struggles, his aspects. And what I like about this one is obviously it focuses primarily on that, and then you kind of see where he goes through this movie, and then you get to, about 20 minutes in, and you see what happens, and it's like, wow, okay, so you've completely flipped the script here, and now I can see why John Kramer is doing this. You kind of sympathise with John Kramer. The people that in this movie are despicable. When you are rooting for John Kramer, and there's an argument for whether he kills people or not, that's an entirely different debate for X or Twitter or whatever it's called these days. You are rooting for John, and if you're rooting for John in a Saw movie, that means your characters are shit. But they're really well written. They're that shit. If that makes sense. You hate these characters. But I like the inclusion of Amanda here. And Amanda is another kind of key aspect of the story that they're telling here. I think this movie is set between Saw 2 and 3. I think that's what it is. I might be wrong, and if I am, you can correct me if I am wrong, but it's definitely after Saw 2. I know that, because of what is mentioned throughout the film. And the good thing about this one, another positive I'm going to say about this, a major positive, is it ties the story better together. So when you watch it and you're like, oh, that ties back to this, that makes more sense for this now. And a lot of the questions you have are like, okay, I get it now. I'm following what's going on. And it's kind of now, you need to see this movie to experience the story that they're actually unfolding here. And I like that. That is one of the best things that a horror franchise can do, is cohesively tell a story and tie them together. So the 10th movie is actually still, a must watch for a franchise. Whereas 6, 7, 8, whatever, you can pretty much skip. Right. And another thing that I did like about this movie, I loved the traps. Alright, I'm not usually one for going into a Saw movie and be like, okay, that's Saw traps. It's fine, it's cool, yeah. This one, I went and I was like, that is awesome. That's cool. That's amazing. I was like that through pretty much the entire. I was like, yep, cool. This might be my favorite trap. And then I was like, a second later, I was like, that actually might be my favorite trap. Wow, okay. I'm not like one of the people that actually like the the iconic ones like the Venus flycatcher or the reverse bear trap. Everyone obviously likes them, but me, I kind of like the ones that are more not gruesome, but you make you go, oh yeah, that looks gnarly. It's there's a couple in here that you're like, wow. And if you've seen the trailer, you obviously know one or two of them. But they they got me even in the cinema. One especially, I couldn't sit in my seat. I was like, oh dear. When a movie does that, bonus points, because I'm not one to really get easily affected because I've seen way too many horror movies. Obviously, the characters here, as I said earlier, they are despicable, but they're so well written, they're so well acted. You want to see John Kramer do his stuff here because of what's happened and what these people have done. And our main villain here is probably one of the most well written, well developed, but downright the most hated person, at least to me, in the Saw universe. I haven't thought of a single character I've hated more than our main villain in this one. And I kind of am a little bit upset of what happens at the end of the movie, without spoiling it. There's a little bit of a, okay, that kind of, it leaves you with, okay, yeah, I can see what's happening. I would have wished, story-wise, this could have wrapped up nicely in a little bow, essentially. But if they are making more movies, I'm here for it. I am actually here for it because this one was so well done. It was so good. And obviously, with the exception of my little gripe on the villain, they were so well fleshed out, and that's the one thing that can make your story more engaging. If you have someone that you absolutely despise, that you want to see things happen to, then you can get me invested essentially into the story, and I was, and that was what was happening. I was like, yes, and then I was like, oh, yes, and then I got to the end. I was like, I want to see Saw 11, I want to see Saw 12, or however many Saws they've got planned in the future. I would love to see more. Score, obviously it was here. I don't think it was played enough times though. That's the only thing. I think it was played maybe once, 2 times throughout the whole movie, and I was kind of like, oh, but I was hoping for at this point, and it would have been cool to play it here. I really like the Saw theme. It's catchy. It gets your foot tapping, and you're like, wow, this is it. This is, But when they did play it, beautiful. And the only other thing that I kind of wish was done was an iconic line I wish was implemented. But that's just a little nitpick for me. I just was hoping to see something like that. But again, this movie, if you have not seen it, please go out and see it. Let's make this one of the best grossed films of the year, horror wise. It deserves it for the work that's been put into this, the writing, the story, the direction, everything. This movie is really, really good. I think, what is it sitting at, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes? Or last time I checked it was 88 or something, or 90. It was something like that. And that just puts a smile on my face. Although I'm, like I said, a casual, I want to see more of this story. So if they make another one and it continues on with kind of this kind of style, I'm here for it. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Saw X or Saw 10. What did you guys think of Saw X? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like the characters? Were they well written? Is this some of the best traps in the Saw franchise? What do you think? Let me know. All that good stuff. Is it the best horror movie this year? I know, because I said it's probably my favourite. Is it yours? Is it one of your guys' favourites? I know, Thomas, you'll probably like to say it's probably your favourite. I know you're a big Saw guy. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for the support and likes, comments, subscribes, all that good stuff. Anything that you let me know feedback-wise. It's always helpful. I will be starting my podcast from next week. So if you guys have any topics for that, any topics at all, it'll be going on probably Spotify, Apple iTunes, all that stuff. I'm working on currently just doing a logo, and then pretty much good to go. Just need a topic to kick off our episode 1, essentially. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me for this episode. I'm already getting excited for the podcast. I'm calling this video the episode. Yeah, guys. As always, I do appreciate everything you guys do for me, and obviously all the comments, feedbacks, and everything. It really helps out. Yeah. Happy Spooktober, everyone, because it's my favorite month, and it's here, but it goes so quick. That's the only downside.